this the first time teaching internationally to students that are not necessarily native tongue of English?
If you've read some of the copy of my students, you would think there might be some international barriers there, but no, this is my first time speaking to an international group of sports journalism students.
So as a Canadian student, I'm seeing great value in the things that you're teaching. These were the basics that we are kind of taught first year of journalism in university. How do you think they're going to be able to take it in the same way? Do you think they're appreciating the importance of your list of commandments are so important? Do you think they're going to appreciate them the way that we do in North America?
I do. I mean, I think the conversation this morning about about cheering in the press box and about proper protocol, there was a really good debate about that, and you could see the students shaking their heads and nodding in agreement and asking good questions. So I think that's why it's a really useful exercise to walk through those commandments, because there are things out there that they wouldn't have thought about that now they'll take back to their countries and apply in their careers.
So you obviously had expectations of what this program was going to look like. Now being here and seeing the different seminars and having your seminar today, how effective do you think it's been so far?
I like the mix. I think this morning Nicholas Mesner, the fellow from judo, just to explain judo to the class, to the group, is really important, because when you come to an event like this, one thing that doesn't happen is a lot of journalists don't prepare properly to learn about sports they normally haven't covered. So I found all of the seminars have been really useful, but it was kind of nice this morning for Alan and I to sit down and just talk about journalism and kind of do a Journalism 101 session. I think that's really valuable to everybody here.
What would you like to see us, improvement-wise, for, I believe we have another 8-9 days left. How would you like to see us students utilizing these days now, taking from these seminars?
I think really just taking what's been talked about and basics today, like little things like what course a student is taking, and writing better leads and writing better intros if you're doing a broadcasting report. I think if you can take something every day that you've been taught and apply it to a story, and you leave here and you feel that your television reports are a little bit better, if your writing's a little bit better, that really is what people should get out of this conference. And that, for me, that'll be really disappointing if everybody doesn't leave here and be a little bit better journalist.
A tough question what I was asking about of your 10 commandments. I just know, our 20 commandments, I just know that it's going to be hard for everyone to really understand what's most important, so that's why I'm asking, what would you say if there was one thing they should take from your seminar, what would it be?
Yeah, it really is a passion, and that kind of goes with the commandments of not being complacent, not being lazy. I think if you're passionate, you'll always do a good job, and I think if you're working in a certain area and you lose that passion, the great thing about being a sports journalist is your other avenues. I mean, I've worked as a weekly newspaper sports journalist. I've worked in public relations with sports organizations. So there are different ways to find that passion. I think that's the most important thing, and it's what I tell my kids about. Like, the most important thing in life is to be passionate about something, and if you're passionate, you'll be successful.
Last question. You've always gone to these international games to cover them. What's it like watching others cover it and kind of being that mentor that we're looking to, saying, okay, what's our next move? What should we be doing here?
It's easier. It's not being at events and coming back at 10:30 and having to write a story by midnight. But it's also, I'm at a point in my career where I get an awful lot of satisfaction out of helping young journalists. And in fact, I wish when I started in the business 30 years ago that I'd been able to come to a conference like this and learn from people like Johnny Merlo and Alan Abramson. So to me, that's the nicest part, is just coming here and then meeting all these kids. As I tweeted this morning, it's been really refreshing for me, and I think it's really reinvigorating for me as a sports journalist to be around this kind of passion and enthusiasm.